Discards are not normal breakups. They are not normal breakups by any stretch of the imagination. Sometimes breakups do need to happen. Not everybody's meant to be together, and sometimes there's just an incompatibility, like a difference in core values. However, a normal breakup usually involves communication. It is not blindsiding to either party. There's been communication from both sides about dissatisfaction within the relationship. The person that's being broken up with, if it's not mutual, is not blindsided by it. They saw it coming. There's a clear and coherent explanation given as to why the relationship is ending. There's also often a discussion about why the relationship is ending, and empathy is shown. It is not cold or cruel. There is empathy given. A discard, however, is the polar opposite. It is absolutely blindsiding. The person that's being discarded is absolutely shattered because they didn't see it coming. It is unilateral. The person being discarded is completely deprived of a voice or a say in the matter. And to make matters worse, they're given little to no closure. They're given no explanations as to why the relationship is ending. At best, they're given very vague excuses like, I can't give you what you need. At worst, they're just ghosted. There is no explanation given. And to make it even worse, there's no empathy that is shown. The person doing the discard is often stone cold, emotionless, acting like they could care less that this person is absolutely crushed and in enormous pain in front of them. The person being discarded can be in tears, and the person doing the discard often, not always, but often, can show no emotion about it whatsoever. It is an absolutely blindsiding experience. It is a traumatic experience to be discarded. It is not a normal breakup by any stretch of the imagination. Avoidance and narcissists are notorious for discarding partners. They discard for different reasons. Narcissists, well, you've grown of no use to them anymore. You've been exhausted. They're tired of you. They've sucked up all the narcissistic supply that they can from you, and they're bored of you. They've found new supply and they're throwing you out like trash because they're done with you. You serve no purpose anymore. An avoidant, however, they run from fear. It is fear of emotional intimacy, fear of abandonment, fear of engulfment, fear of rejection. Something in the relationship triggered their fears. But avoidants don't communicate. So when these fears get triggered, they can rapidly deactivate, meaning they take their emotions, they stuff them. They take their feelings for their partner, they bury them. They don't allow themselves to access their own feelings for their partner. It's a maladaptive defense mechanism. It's how they keep themselves safe, by avoiding their emotions. And this can also mean avoiding empathy. Now, the intent is very, very different behind it. However, the action is the same. The partner that's being discarded is being thrown in the trash like they never even mattered. They're given no closure and they're shown no empathy. It is a traumatic and painful experience regardless of the intent behind it. The discard is the action, not the intent. If you're being thrown in the trash, does it really matter why you're being thrown in the trash? Because you're still being thrown in the trash. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they keep on physically hitting you, but they don't mean to lose their temper, they don't mean to hurt you, does it really matter what their intent is? They're still hurting you. Same thing. If you're being thrown in the trash, you're being thrown in the trash. And it is not a kind thing to do to somebody. It is a very selfish thing to do to somebody, regardless of whether it's coming from an avoidant or a narcissist. It is extremely selfish and self-absorbed because the person doing the discard is only thinking of themselves. They are only thinking of what they perceive that they want or need in the moment. They are not considering the feelings of the person being discarded whatsoever, because if they were considering the feelings of the person being discarded, they wouldn't discard them. They would do a breakup. There would be communication. There would be closure. There would be answers, and there would be empathy. Emotionally healthy people do not discard partners. Securely attached people do not discard partners. They sometimes do break up with partners. This is true. They don't discard them. If you have to break up with somebody and you did indeed communicate the issues in the relationship and nothing changed and you end it, that is not a discard. Also, if there is an abusive relationship that you have to quickly exit for your own safety, that is not a discard. A discard is when there is a healthy, loving partner that gets thrown away like they are trash. A partner that is not dangerous, a partner that is kind, a partner that is emotionally invested, that gets blindsided and thrown away. That's what a discard is. And at the end of the day, if you're the person that was discarded and you were a kind and loving partner, you didn't deserve this because you wouldn't have done it to them. It's not what kind people do to each other. It is not a loving act to discard somebody. Of course, people that do discards, they can learn a different way. They can heal, especially if they're avoidant. If they're narcissists, they're unlikely to change. But if they're an avoidant, they can learn to be a less selfish person and a more empathetic person that's more in touch with their emotions. However, discarding is still a choice. Nobody is forcing them to discard you. Nobody is forcing them to show no empathy. Nobody is forcing them to give no closure and no communication. It is a choice. It's a selfish choice, and you don't deserve it if that happened to you. And don't blame yourself because you can't make anybody discard you. You absolutely can't. You didn't deserve it, and don't think for a second that you did.